Hi, I'm Roger and welcome back to the Tractor Tech channel. Today I'm going to show you a tool that is a very useful tool if you cut your own firewood. It's called a cant hook. This one is sold by Steel. It's made by a company called Logrite. This particular one has a 42-inch long handle. It's an aluminum handle. There are other companies that make them with wooden handles. I like the aluminum handle for the strength and durability. Cant hooks were originally used in sawmills to turn logs and cants. If I'm cutting by myself, I'll cut off the ground. If I have a helper, I will cut out of my grapple. I don't think it's worthwhile cutting out of the grapple by myself, letting the tractor sit there and run while one person cuts a log and then you have to go get another log. Just a lot of idle time for the tractor. So what I'm going to do is get this log, since it's a bigger log, down off the pile, and I'll show you how I like to use this tool. I have the log down on the ground. I normally would not have pulled that log off the pile. Next, I would have got some of the front ones that are easier to get. I always try to get the easiest log off first instead of getting a difficult log. But the log's down on the ground. I took the Mingo marker and marked it. So if you look, I can get this first cut. I can cut all the way through, but after that, the log's sitting on the ground. So I'm not going to be able to easily or quickly make a complete cut. If you're normally cutting in the woods, you might try to cut down very, very carefully and then cut through it. Or if this was a big tree, you might, or even this log, you might try to cut through half of it and then roll it by hand. So what I like to do is with the cant hook, it makes it easy to turn the log. So I can go ahead and make my complete first cut here, but then since I'm cutting here on fairly level ground, I know the tip of my bar is up higher than the rest of the saw, so I can just saw all the way down until the rear handle rests on the ground. Now if you're out cutting in the woods or on uneven ground, you're still going to have to watch that you don't cut into something, cut into a rock or whatever, but then I can go down and make pretty much complete cuts, and then I can take the cant hook and roll the log over and finish the cuts. So I'll go ahead and saw this log up now. So I was actually able to cut completely through the first 2 rounds. One thing I forgot to mention, but you'll see in the video, is like here where the log is off the ground, when you start cutting down through it, your gap is going to close. If you cut all the way down through it to the saw rest on the ground, you're going to end up having a pinch saw. So you do need to watch the gap, and when it starts to close up, pull the saw out. So now that I've cut most of the way through every round, I'm ready to turn it over with the cant hook. Of course, when you're doing something like this, if possible, try to roll it downhill instead of uphill, because that's going to be easier. All you do is just put this in the log and just pick up on the handle. And now I've rolled the log over 180 degrees so I can complete the cuts. Now every round is cut in 2. You can see how much easier that is in comparison trying to cut all the way through the round. And then if you're trying to cut all the way through it at once, you run the risk of hitting the ground and dulling your chain. Versus doing it this way, it greatly reduces the risk of dulling your chain. Don't get a cant hook and a PV confused. The cant hook has a curved end on it where a PV has a straight end. PV is more used for moving logs on water. Cant hook can also be used for other things, like if you're skidding logs and a log is lodged up against a tree, you can use it to roll the log out of the way, or you can even slide the end of the log. Of course, if you're going to be doing stuff like that all the time, you're probably going to want the 60-inch handle for more leverage. This 42-inch handle works good for me cutting firewood here. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. In the comments section below, let me know what kind of cant hook you have.